Okay, let's dive into this, because today we're unpacking an explainer on some absolutely wild, high-stakes allegations leveled directly at one of the biggest tech giants on the planet, Meta. The source material we're looking at paints a picture of a massive, multi-billion-dollar crisis brewing right inside their artificial intelligence division. And this isn't just standard internal corporate drama. The outcome of this crisis could literally dictate the future of the platforms you and I use every single day. We're going to explore the raw numbers, the intense claims of deception, and the massive financial gamble at play here. It's really giving us a clear window into what some are calling a critical turning point for the entire tech industry.
To really grasp the gravity of the allegations we're about to look at, we first have to understand the sheer scale of the money involved here. $150 billion. Just let that sink in for a second. According to the source text, that is exactly how much Mark Zuckerberg is spending on AI this year alone. To put that into perspective, that is more than the entire economic output of many countries, just poured into a single tech division in 12 months. It's a monumental financial stake, representing a practically unprecedented level of capital investment for a single technology push. So this isn't just a side project or some minor initiative, right? It's a company-defining bet. And when you've got $150 billion on the line in a single 12-month window, the pressure from shareholders and the market to actually deliver results, well, it's nothing short of astronomical.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the jarring contrast between that massive financial investment we just talked about and the alleged internal reality at the company. The source material uses a highly critical, very specific phrase to describe the current state of affairs inside Meta's AI division. They literally call it a dumpster fire. I mean, that's a bold claim. It suggests a state of absolute chaos and mismanagement going on behind closed doors. It's just a striking juxtaposition, a reality completely at odds with the polished, forward-looking, innovative image that a tech giant usually projects when they're investing heavily in the future.
So what exactly is driving all this intense pressure and this alleged chaos? Well, it all comes down to one monumental industry rivalry, Meta's Llama 4 versus ChatGPT. The source explains that Meta is operating under an incredibly urgent, high-stakes directive. Their ultimate driving goal is that they absolutely have to ensure their upcoming Llama 4 AI model can stand toe-to-toe and directly compete with OpenAI's ChatGPT. Right now, ChatGPT totally dominates the public perception of what AI can do, and that dominance is a direct existential threat to Meta's core business model. Think about it. If users bypass Meta's ecosystem of apps to get their answers and entertainment directly from a competitor's AI, Meta loses its grip on user attention, which means they lose their advertising revenue. So they're essentially throwing everything they have at this head-to-head matchup, knowing that whoever definitively wins this technological race basically controls the next generation of the internet.
Let's move on and see how this builds. Because of that intense pressure to catch ChatGPT, the allegations in the text escalate from just internal disorganization to active deception. The source makes a really aggressive and startling claim here. It alleges that Meta is straight up fudging their Llama 4 benchmark scores. And in the AI industry, benchmark supremacy dictates developer trust, enterprise adoption, and crucially, investor confidence. If your model doesn't visibly top the charts, it gets left behind. The text asserts that in order to appear competitive with ChatGPT in this high-stakes rivalry, Meta is actively manipulating these crucial numbers to project a completely false narrative of technological success.
So how exactly does the source claim this manipulation is actually happening behind the scenes? Well, it comes down to cherry-picking data. Rather than giving a transparent look at the model's overall performance, the text alleges Meta is carefully curating their test sets. The claim is that they're actively optimizing for specific prompts and tasks, where Llama 4 just happens to excel, while quietly bearing the data where the model hallucinates, fails at complex logic, or just falls flat against ChatGPT. This allows Meta to artificially inflate the benchmark scores of Llama 4. The implication here is huge. It means they're carefully crafting the test data the public sees to create an illusion of superiority, essentially masking the actual alleged dumpster fire reality of the AI's real capabilities.
So the crucial point is that this highlights a massive paradox at the heart of Meta's current strategy, according to the text. On one side of the ledger, Mark Zuckerberg is pouring a staggering $150 billion into this technology this year alone. But on the other side, shockingly low organic user adoption. This means everyday people just aren't naturally gravitating toward Meta's AI tools on their own. The source points out that while these AI assistants are being forcefully integrated into the search bars of platforms like Instagram and WhatsApp, users are largely ignoring them, or maybe abandoning the AI features after just a single novelty use. It sets up this fascinating tension-filled scenario: unprecedented, sky-high spending met with profound consumer apathy. And that brings us to the ultimate question laid out by our source material. Can a $150 billion investment survive a combination of low user adoption and alleged benchmark fudging?
I mean, we have a massive financial gamble on the table, internal claims of a chaotic dumpster fire, and serious accusations of curating data just to keep up appearances against ChatGPT. There is a staggering disconnect between the money being spent and the reality this text actually describes. So I want you to think about this final provocative thought as we wrap up this explainer. If these severe allegations of faked numbers and ignored products are actually true, at what point does a $150 billion tech bubble finally burst?